from our publicity, as you say from our publicity, we have a lot of women lined up to give you, let me just call it the best gist when it comes to accelerating action. Yes. So, Taufikat, the mic is yours.
Okay, welcome everyone once again. Before we dive into today's exciting session on accelerating action, let's have fun. Let's have fun with an engaging icebreaker. We are going to play a quick game called Who Said It? So I'll be reading a famous quote from an inspiring woman and you will guess who said it. You drop your answer in the chat. Kindly drop your answer in the chat. So who is ready? If you are ready, drop your favorite emoji. Okay. So the first question is, I'm going to drop a quote. The first quote is, you can tell the condition of a country by looking at the status of its women. Who said this? A. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti. B. Amina J. Mohammed. C. Dora Akunjili. Who said that? Okay, keep the answer coming. Okay. Okay, the right answer is A. No one. Okay. The answer is Fumilayo Ransom Kuti. She was a pioneer in Nigerian feminism, the first woman to drive a car in Nigeria, and a fearless activist who fought women's rights and against the colonial rule. So everybody got
So
it.
we don't have a winner like this. Hey.
Not at all.
Okay.
So the next quote, are we ready? I'll be reading out the quote. The second quote is, we must be impatient for change. Let us not settle for being comfortable with the way things are. Who said this? A. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. B. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. C. Ezekiel Ezekwesili. Who said that? Okay, keep the answer coming. Everybody, looks like everyone is prepared for this question. Okay, the answer is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She's the first woman and first African to serve as Director General of the World Trade Organization and has led major economic reform in Nigeria. So the answer is A. Many people got it right. So I'll be moving on to the next one. The next quote is just for, this is the second to the last quote. So the problem with gender is that it prescribes how we should be rather than recognizing how we are. Who said this? A. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. B. M.O. Abudu. C. Folorunso Alakija. Who said this? Okay. Okay, wow. All right, the answer is A. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, a globally recognized writer and a feminist. So I'll be moving on to the last but not the least quote. Are you ready? Are you ready for the last quote? Okay. So the last but not the least, good leadership is not about gender. It is about ability, integrity, and vision. Who said this? A. Amina J. Mohammed. B. Kemi Adeosun. C. Abike Dabiri Erewa. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce the last name very well. So who said that? Okay, who said that? I'm not saying the correct answer. Okay, keep the answer coming. Who said that? Oh, decide. You can't have two answers. Okay, Okay. The correct answer is A. Amina J. Mohammed. As a Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, she has been a strong advocate for sustainable development and gender equity on a global scale. So we have come to the end of the everybody is laughing. Yeah, some people got it right actually. So we've come to the end of the icebreaker. So I'll be handing over to Mrs. Imoliayo.
All right, thank you so much. So sorry, I'm a woman and I know you can hear my baby in the background. She just decided that this is the time she would show everybody pepper today. So permit me. All right. Hey. So I would like to call on Favor Sunday. Favor Sunday, can you just give us a shout out?
Hi, I can hear you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Favor. Favor is one of the women I respect so much. I respect every woman that is here, but she's one of the women I respect so much because when it comes to her skill, hey, she knows her onions. So, Favor, without further ado, kindly introduce us to the team.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Once again, as we all know, I think is accelerate actions. Now, the theme accelerate actions is one of the final step towards women in tech. It emphasizes bold initiatives that drive real change in career growth, rather leadership opportunities and gender inclusivity in the industry. Now, the following are the key messages of this theme. Number one is moving from awareness to execution. Many discussions highlight gender gaps in tech, but this theme urges us to take measurable actions that create impact. Two, empowering women with practical for women to break barriers, scale their careers, and claim leadership positions. Three, challenging organizations to act. Companies, leaders, and allies must implement policies and initiatives that support diversity, equal pay, and career advancement for women. Number four, speeding up progress. The tech industry evolves rapidly, and women must seize every opportunity to upskill and leverage networks to accelerate their growth. Number five, creating a results-driven community. It's about collaboration and accountability where women support each other in achieving milestones through mentorship, sponsorship, and advocacy. At the KodeCamp 2025 International Women's Day Conference, we're not only going to discuss the challenges, but also outline clear action points that every woman, every participant here, whether a tech professional, student, leader, or whatsoever, can take to drive change. So it's time to shift gears, take bold steps, and accelerate actions. Thank you very much. I hope you have
Thank
a
you
wonderful
so
session.
much, Favor. Thank you. Thank you. Where is your clap now? Your standing ovation. Thank you so much for that, Favor. All right. So, right about now, I would like to call on our keynote speaker. Okay. Hilda, please, can you bring in our keynote speaker? She's presently in the waiting room. She's presently in the waiting room. All right. Okay, so before our keynote speaker, is she in?
Yes, she's in.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Ilva. So yes, I'd like to call on our keynote speaker in person of Miss Boma Agino Obo. This is one of my mentors when it comes to tech. Yes. Let me say I met her in tech. All right. She's a senior product designer. She's I I don't even know the adjective to qualify her with. Of course, I've met her in person and she's a wonderful person. She she has honed her skill. It's been a while she has been on this journey and she's equipped to, give us this keynote speech. And please, with your clap, I want to make sure everybody is clapping before I give her the mic. Please let me hear the resounding clap. I wish I can hear the sound of our clap. Oh, thank you, precious Steve. Yes, yes. Thank you, Fechuko and Chuko. Ha, you people are not clapping, no. Oluwakemi Abdurazak, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Opodo. Mr. Victor, you see a man is even clapping. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Joma. Yes, yes, let's have it. All right. So I'll be handing over the mic to her now. Miss Boma, you're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Please, though, people should not believe what Imole is saying. No. She's my
Ah.
mentor. Yeah. Imole, that is a product senior product manager. Anyways, it's good to be here. My name is Boma Aginobu. Yeah, I'm a product designer, but I'm also a woman, like everyone here. So today I'll be talking on the topic empowering women in tech, how we need to break barriers and try to drive change as women. So let's start with the statistics. Yeah. If you look at the world today, yeah, according to World Economic Forum, this research was done in 2024, and it is stated that women hold just about 28.2% of the tech workspace globally. And then if we come to this is the global statistics. Then if we come to Nigeria as a whole, we have less than 20% of women in tech. And this research is showing that we are gradually trying to close that. No, there's a major gap here. So we are trying to close that gap as women to do the same thing. Now, funny enough, I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and the person said, men are, I'm trying to remember the exact word, but he said something about men have been doing more in the society than women. And I was trying to explain to him that, yes, that fact is correct, that we have a lot of men in the workspace, but currently, yeah, a lot of women are coming in, and organizations are also helping us to achieve that goal of also being in the tech space. So let's talk about the barriers. I'll start with the barriers why most women are not there. One of it is underrepresentation. So women still remain minority when it comes to doing technical stuff like AI, cyber security, engineering. We still have a lot of women scared of doing those things because they have this mentality that it is the men's work. So we are basically not trying to push towards that direction. But I'm hoping that with the way the world is going, and after this event here, a lot of women would want to stand up and do some things. So let me still go back to the conversation I was having with someone, and it also relates with me. So I studied biology in school, and so I'm small, yeah. If you've seen me before, so for my code campus, right, you know that I'm small. So it's always very difficult to maybe think that I've done something or I've done a lot. So while I was in school, I think I just finished school as at that point, and then I went home to my family house. And one of the days I was sitting outside with a friend, and then a man came, around. I think he knows my dad. And then I greeted him. And the first thing he said is, he turned to my dad. My dad was there. And I was like, "Oh, is she your daughter?" I said, "Yes, she just finished school." I'm like, "Oh, do come make her marry you, put you for my kitchen." So that was the exact thing he said. And for me, right, I found that very offensive. But my dad was there, so I did not want to be rude. So I just turned and looked at him and I told him that you cannot keep me in your kitchen. And he got offended. And I was like, "Why am I saying that? Am I not supposed to get married after school? And then a man will marry me, and the next thing I need to do is to stay in the kitchen." Now we have a lot of these, we have a lot of women that are facing this. So yesterday, while having my conversation with someone, I asked him a question. I'm like, if you have a girl child and you have a male child, yeah, and you have limited resources, who are you going to send to school? And he said, obviously, he's going to send the boy to school. And I'm like, yeah. So this is the reason why we don't have a lot of women, because a lot of women have been groomed, yeah, to actually picture that once they are done with maybe any education that their parents can afford, they have to like leave that education, leave it and go to school. But I am grateful that some of these things are like changing, and people are gradually women are standing up for themselves and learning tech skills. And I'm also grateful for organizations that are helping women to achieve this goal of women all over the world to also do all of these things. So we have cultural barriers, we have stereotypes. I've just talked about that. Lack of mentorship, yeah. In the tech space now, currently, you'd see that we have more male mentors than we have female mentors. And if we have more women in the society that are mentors, yeah, we do have them. I'm not saying we don't have them, but we don't have a lot of these people. Check the people that are making wave in AI, in cyber security, in crypto, all of these tech skills. You'd see that men are dominating it. And a lot of women want to, but some people are still very scared to like have mentors that are of the opposite sex. I'm not saying people don't, but most persons are scared. So some of these things are like barriers we face as women that is making us not to like go there. And workspace bias. So I remember there was a time that I was going for a particular position in a place, and then I was contesting with a man. Okay, that was in school. I wanted to come out as my departmental treasurer, and I was doing this with a man. And some of the things that people were concerned about was because I was a woman, and I would have other engagements. Yeah, if you go home when you close from all of these places, you have other things, because it is perceived that as women we are I'm thinking of the right word to use, but we are home, we're supposed to be taking care of the home, yeah. So because of that, anywhere, if you want to like get opportunities, they get to consider that they don't want to choke you, because they know that once you're done from work, you still have to like go to the house. Now I'm not saying it's everywhere, but some people still have this mentality where if a man and a woman is coming for a position, they would easily want to give it to a man, because a man is naturally a leader, and he would be able to like handle all of those responsibilities. And then we have the hostile environment, exclusion. We have like lack of psychological safety. Sometimes as women, yeah, we go through a lot of things, and this also affects how we work and all of that. So these are like the barriers that we face. But what are the current landscape presently? Where are we today? More women are leading startups. I've seen women doing well in the society currently. Women are starting up companies, women are leading, women are driving innovation, they are trying to shape in the future of AI, sustainability, and all of that. Unlike before, where women would step back and allow the men do this, but now a lot of women are interested in tech and they are doing this. And now also a lot of companies are prioritizing diversity. So these days you would see applications and they would tell you, they would put it specifically, women are advised to apply. And that's because it is natural that women will see this and would not want to do it. But now it's changing. A lot of organizations are also trying to ensure that the number of women in these things are more than men. So I've worked for an edutech firm, and one of the things we do when we are doing our programs, when we are trying to start our programs, we ensure that we put it out there that women should apply in your
Okay.
capacity, even if you. So we also give like a quota, a space for women. If we are going to accept 1,000 people, we would keep 500 slots or 600 slots for women. And if we don't have that number of women, would get to like put out ads and all of that and ensure that we convince them that these skills are not just for guys, they are not just for the male counterparts, they are also for us. So a lot of companies are doing that. They are also giving more women leadership roles in workplace. They are allowing women to apply to stuff. So while I was in school and I had that issue with women not applying for positions, I got to I think last year, yeah, I went to a program and they needed to like do election for the governor and vice governor. And as it went, like a woman won that particular position. This is to tell you that more women are exposed and all of that. Then women are excelling in STEM education. Sorry, no offense. Yeah, I know that there are male counterparts here. Yeah. So the conversation I was having with someone yesterday, he mentioned that but if we want to look at it, so after having this conversation, the thing is I like having this kind of conversations with males because I also want to bear their own perspective. And he said something, if you look closely, right, women are more intelligent than men. Because already they are mothers, they are trained to like groom others. So they really they have this knowledge, they have this sense to like be able to handle it. So when women do these things, right, they tend to excel. I don't know if in your primary school or secondary school you would always notice that most times women would always come first, second, third, and all of that. Now I'm not saying that the male are not intelligent. They are like one of the most intelligent beings you can see on earth, but this now is trying to tell you that as a woman, yeah, you don't need to undermine your capacity. You don't need to try to limit yourself. I know that there's this orientation that we have. There's this orientation which is normal. So I saw something on Instagram that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago was Valentine, or 3 weeks ago. So I saw something, and a woman, she has like 3 children, I think they are triplets, and it was Valentine, and she groomed our males, because there were two guys. So she groomed these guys. These kids will be around 8 years or so, but she groomed these guys to take breakfast to their daughter, to the daughter in bed, and also presented gifts to the girl. So the male did that. And when a friend sent it to me as reels, and then when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is very cute. But why is there no video of the woman gifting, of the lady or of the female child also gifting her son? So what I told my friend there is, this is like the kind of orientation this girl is getting. She would grow up and probably put it in her head that the male counterparts are supposed to like take care of her, which is not a bad thing. But what I'm trying to say is, as women, yeah, I know that we have that orientation already, but we should try to like remove that, try to like, yeah, you need to be a lady and be taken care of. But if you try to minimize that kind of idea in your head, right, you would see opportunities and you would know that, okay, these opportunities are not just for the male counterparts. I can also apply for these opportunities as a woman. So what are we going to do differently as women? How are we going to change the narrative for women to join the tech? So I have a principle here. I tell people that as a product designer, one of the things I do is I'm an evangelist. And if you look at our religious definition of evangelist, you're someone that is supposed to bring more people, more people. So one thing I do is, you cannot meet me and don't have a tech skill. So I'll look at your what you do well, and then I'll suggest something for you. And that's not because I want to do that. It's just because I want more people, whether male or female, to get this tech skill and be able to compete with people outside. But for the purpose of this particular talk here, we are advocating for early STEM education for women. Women should organizations should not just organizations, right? As individuals, you have there's KodeCamp here, and KodeCamp registrations is like every year. You can be an advocate. They don't need to pay you for that. You can be someone that sends out the flyers, application links. Just talk to someone, right? Even if it's talking to someone every day, to ensure that female children are linked towards this direction, are pushed towards this direction to like learn all of these skills. So partner with organizations that are here, partner with schools, non-profit to inspire girls to pursue STEM careers. CodeCamp is already providing that hands-on learning for people. There's mentorship, so more women should be advised to register for this. Also, as individuals, right, you don't need to leave these to organizations to sponsor programs, right? I'm in one group, and that group is a group for entrepreneurs, and I like one of the strategies they are doing. So the group has almost 1,000 members in the group, and then one of the days someone brought up this idea that instead of waiting for VCs to give people money, or waiting for grants before you can push your business, how about we do this every month? Probably every month everybody pays 5K. If 1,000 persons should pay 5,000 naira, to bring out 5,000 naira, as small as it is, that's 5 million. We can use it to empower a particular startup in that group that needs funds to like push. Now the same thing here, as individuals, you can sponsor one person, one female. It can be operation. So I read something yesterday from someone's status, and she was like, today is International Women's Day, and while sharing pad is important, while it is good, most organizations are already thinking of cartons of pads that they are going to share to secondary school girls. Why not change that to maybe getting iPads, getting laptops, or probably getting courses for these girls? The pads you're sharing would finish, but if you give them a skill that they can use to start getting money, they would use it to also sponsor more people, also buy more pads for themselves. Yeah, so invest in mentorship programs, pair women with mentors. If you have organizations where there are a lot of women, right, give them the opportunities to meet these mentors. So for my idea of mentorship, right, it should not even be one-on-one. So, but some of these women don't even know that women are doing great in the society. So these women that are doing great, it could be gathering their success stories and combining it just doing it as a PDF, and people should just read about these people and try to learn about them. And then we have to foster workplace inclusive culture. If you have an organization, or you don't even need to have an organization for change here, you can start enlightening people about this. Ensure that we create an environment where women would feel safe and valued. Yeah, I know that some organizations are already doing that, but we need more organizations to do that, so that more women would come to tech and would also start doing expert. The goal is not to compete with men. No, the goal is to also be at a point where we can cooperate together, we can do things together instead of competing, or instead of trying to be more. So I don't believe in trying to be more than these people. It's just for us to be on a safe side. Also, we should also, not like, yeah, we should be at that point where we all can do it. I know that there's a particular saying that what a man can do, a woman can do better. But for me, right, what a man can do, a woman can also do it without feeling like she cannot. Thank you. It's time for question. Any question?
Thank you so much, Miss Boma. If you have questions, please go ahead, raise your hand. If you know you got value, which I got, by the way, can you use the chat? Just type value. Yes. Value, value, value. It is not about competing with men. No, we are not competing. We are rather doing it, you know, also without feeling like we can't. Yes, value. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do we have questions? Questions? All right. So if you don't have, okay, someone said we all want an inclusive work environment, but we need more of this kind of seminars to encourage the ladies to always apply for this position. My question is to Boma. If you have a company and you are wanting to employ 10 persons and you have 12 candidates of 6 males and 6 females, but 8 males came out top, will you drop 2 males and employ less qualified females just to have gender balance? Miss Boma.
Okay, so this question is a bit tricky. So first off, I have an organization, and one of the things I'm also doing is ensuring that I have more women there. Now, when you talk about someone that is not qualified. Now, there's a difference between someone that is not qualified and does not want to learn and someone that wants to learn. So one of the things I look for when conducting interviews, right, is your ability to I want to look at if you want to learn. So for me, before I started working, I did not have any experience. I'm serious. My first application was whack. When they say submit your CV, I just carried my CV and I submitted it like that without even writing any cover letter. I just threw the CV at them. But was I given an opportunity? Yes, I was. And one of the reasons why they gave me an opportunity is because they said from my interview, right, it felt like I had this passion to learn. So will I drop 2 males to employ 2 females that wants to learn? Yes, I will. But if you don't have that zeal to like grow, I'm sorry, I would pick the male over you, because first of all, it's an organization you're paying to get the work done and not paying to pity or to because you want to add more females to your organization. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. You might want to do totally different thing, but as far as a zeal to grow, that's the goal. If you're willing to grow, if you're willing to learn on the job, yes, I will.
Thank you, Ma. Ikechukwu Achom, your hand is raised. Please go ahead with your question.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Is it afternoon yet? Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, I kind of just want to respond to the question also. Boma, how are you doing? Longest time. Okay, so it's Women's Day, so happy International Women's Day to everyone. So for the question, I just want to say this. One of the things, there's no right answer actually, because it is dependent on an organization's values, right? It's dependent on what they want. But one of the things I also don't want to, I want us to encourage less is um, having unqualified, unprepared people, right? Nobody wants an unqualified, unprepared person in their organization, regardless of your gender, right? So I think for me, you even answered it when you said, employ less qualified females. Why would a company want to employ less qualified persons? Because in this context of less qualified, I also want to believe that as the less qualified is not necessarily based on certification, but experience, right? So why would a company want to jeopardize their future, right, by employing people who are less qualified? So I believe, which is the goal of this whole meeting, is to encourage the females to gain the relevant knowledge and experience. Let opportunities meet you ready, right? Let opportunities meet you ready, rather than being at the mercy or at the beck and call of an organization because you want to be favored based on gender balance, right? If you are good at what you do, when the opportunity comes, right, I want to believe strongly that you actually would be picked, right? So focus more on being the better version, focus more on being the qualified, so that when it comes to your case, it will not be a case of gender. It will be a case of ability. And that is what I want every lady to strive for. Strive for ability, strive for impact, so that when they bring you and a guy, it will not be a gender thing, it will be a qualification thing. You can do it better than this guy can do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You can do it better. Yes, thank you, Ikechukwu Atrom. Do we have any other person? All right. So if there is none, if you are getting value, use the chat now. See, I know for me to invite you, you should know that yes, it is value packed, like I promised. Yes. So thank you so much, Miss Boma. Thank you for that was a really insightful session. So right about now, I'll be calling our wonderful panelists rather. I want to you see, I've not Japad. I'm already speaking gendered English. Yes, so I'll be calling wonderful women now. I don't want your clap to stop. These women, they came, they saw, they conquered. Now, when you talk about KodeCamp, and by the way, KodeCamp 5.0 is starting in April. These women have gone through KodeCamp. They've tasted of the goodness of KodeCamp. They've experienced the rigor. If you ask them the KodeCamp gist, they will give you. And they are now proficient in their field. They've gone through KodeCamp bootcamp, KodeCamp internship, and right now they are here to just give you a bit of insight. If not for time, I'll just give each of them 1 hour to talk, and we will not get tired because they are an embodiment of wisdom that KodeCamp has packed together. Yes. So the first person I'll be calling. So once I call their name, they'll just give a shout out like that. And before we now start with the questions, yes, the first wonderful woman I'll be calling is Ifechukwu Nwanchukwu. She's a mobile developer. Ifechukwu, can you just introduce yourself sharply? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Imole. My name is Ifechukwu Nwachukwu, and I have been a mobile developer for almost 4 years now. Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ifechukwu Nwachukwu. The next person I'll be calling is Rufina Hilary. She's a product designer par excellence. Please, Cole, can you help me mute persons that shouldn't be unmuted? Thank you. Rufina, go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Ms. Malaya. Good morning, everybody. My name is Rufina Hilary. I'm a product designer. I've been designing for a year and now. It's really nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Rufina. The next person is Ijeoma Obialo.
Good
She's
morning.
also a product designer par excellence. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody, and happy International Women's Day. My name is Ijoma, and I am a product designer. I've been designing for almost a year now.
All right, thank you. The next person I'll be calling is Miriam Titilope Ali, and she's a front-end developer. When you say women par excellence, I hope you are clapping. This one, I'm not seeing your clap. Please, standing ovation. If you can stand, stand where you are and be clapping. All right, over to you, Miriam.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miriam Ali, and I'm a front-end developer. I've been a front-end developer for the past 5 years now. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miriam. The next person I'll be calling is Precious Steve, and she's a back-end developer. Yes, Agba developer. Yeah, you know that. Okay, Precious Steve, the mic is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. So I'm Precious, and I've been in the IT field for 2 years now, and I've been a backend developer for almost a year now. So
yes, Thank you
So
so
I'm
much,
happy.
Precious Steve.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. The next person I'll be calling is a DevOps engineer, and she's Mercy Abeire. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening from. I am Mercy Abire, a DevOps engineer, and I've been at it for less than a year now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Mercy. The next person I'll be calling is Inena Kaze. Now, when you talk of robotics, I know some of you are like, what is robotics? What is machine learning? It's looking strange. But there are people that are doing this in Nigeria. Yes. And we have Inena Kaze. Inena, over to you.
Hello everyone, good morning. So I'm Dena. I've been dabbling in and out of robotics for almost 8 years, and I started with machine learning recently. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Nina. So the last person I'll be calling is Hilda Joseph. When you mention one code house, is one Hilda. Those that know here know. Yes, Hilda is a product manager par excellence. Hilda, over to you.
Hi everyone, good morning. Good to be here. I'm Hilda Joseph, product manager. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. So the first person I'll be asking them 2 questions each, and I'll just ask them each person their question before I move to the next person. And after their session, please, if you have questions, be dropping them in the chat as they're answering. Once they are done, we are going to take your question. It's going to be a very interactive session. So please make sure you also engage yourself, okay? All right, so the first person I'll be asking is Ifechukwu Wanchukwu. And the first question I'll be asking her is, what are some of the biggest challenges you faced as a woman in tech, and how did you navigate them? That's my first question.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Mole. So I would say one of the biggest challenges I face is feeling that the work that I'm doing has no value. And that comes from, people around or family members who basically look at you as a woman and they think there's nothing that you want to do that really has value as far as it's not marriage or having children or having a family. And that can be really discouraging, like I said, especially when it's from family, because when you put in a lot of time and effort into your work, and then you now have people downgrade it or downplay it, it's not encouraging. But I would say one thing that has helped me, overcome this or battle this or fight this is basically knowing the value of what I'm doing for myself, right? So the work that I'm doing, the hours I put in, I see the outcome, I see the product at the end of it. So I recognize that for myself. And when I am put in situations where someone is trying to downplay or downgrade, what I have to offer, I use it as an opportunity to, teach them or to show them that there is value in what I'm doing, because some of these people are just ignorant, right? Because of the society that we are in, some of them are raised to think that as a woman, there's nothing that you're doing that is important. So, sometimes I use it as a learning point to basically educate them and show them that, okay, as a woman, yes, marriage is good, having a family is good, but I can also be more than that. Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So the next question I'll be asking is, what role do male allies play in breaking down gender barriers in the tech industry?
Okay. One role I would say they will play is basically recognizing gender bias and standing against it, right? So as women, we can all come together and try to battle this gender gap we have in the tech space. But it's not really enough if, the opposite gender, the male counterparts, don't stand with us, right? So I could be in a work setting and, something has gone wrong, right? Somebody has, downgraded or disrespected me, based on my gender. It's not enough for all the women to now come and start standing up for me. If the men just look at it and let it be, it wouldn't really have the impact that we women are trying to drive. So as men, I feel that when they see things like gender bias happening in the tech space, they should be able to stand up to it and fight it. Basically, helping everyone. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. The next person I'll
You're
be
welcome.
calling, yes, is Rufina. Rufina Hillary.
I'm with you.
Okay. All right. Hi, Rufina.
Hi, Miss Malayo.
Yes. So your question is, what structural or cultural barriers do you think are still limiting women in tech today?
Okay. Okay, thank you for the question. When I think about structural and cultural barriers, what comes to my mind is things like stereotypes. Stereotypes in the tech field. It's a well-known stereotype that tech is a man's world, and from a young age, most women, most girls, because they are still young then, they're often told that tech is not for them, and this has actually led fewer women into entering the field. For example, if you go to any engineering department in any Nigerian university, you'd find out that the women in any class are usually less than 10, or if they are of any substantial amount, the ratio of men to women in the class is pretty huge. So I think that this stereotype, this idea that tech is a man's thing, is one of the cultural and structural barriers limiting women. Like if I can state an example, personally for me, I'm a pharmacy student, yeah, but I've always had an interest in tech. When I was writing my JAM to apply to the university, I told my parents I want to study computer engineering. Yeah, but they resisted. They actually resisted. They said my mom actually she said that there's no woman in a house who's going to study engineering. I had to go for something medical. So I think this is still relevant, it's still ongoing, no matter the progress we have actually made. Another thing I can quote is the unwelcoming work environment. Yeah, women in tech sometimes face bias, we face exclusion, face discrimination, and this can be really discouraging. And this can end a lot of women's journey because nobody wants to stay where they are not welcome or where they're not wanted. To thrive in the industry, we usually have to work twice as hard, be twice as stubborn, and we have to stand our ground. But there's this resistance that we usually have to pass through as a woman in tech, and this can be really discouraging and limit our progress here. So yeah, thank you. Those are
Thank
the
you.
areas I think of. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The second question is, can you share a turning point in your career where you had to push through a major obstacle?
Okay, a turning point in my career. This question, this actually hits close to home because I'm going to use my KodeCamp experience to answer this. Like I said before, I'm a pharmacy student. I'm in my final year right now. So last year, I joined the KodeCamp bootcamp to improve my UI UX skills. I said I was going to juggle both school and the bootcamp. Like, okay, so well, after a while, it didn't take me long to realize that it wasn't going to be easy because KodeCamp didn't come to play. It's a very rigorous learning environment. You have to put in your best. If I were to quote a friend, he once said, KodeCamp is not just a boot camp, it's almost a standard university. So at first, I was excited to be there. I participated in the lessons, the design challenges, and still went to school smiling. I still had everything settled. But soon I found myself struggling with both. My exams were approaching, project deadlines were looking at me. I was burnt out, I was tired. I almost gave up because it was really, really stressful handling both school, my exams, and the rigorous deadlines of the boot camp. But my turning point came when I realized that I had to create a system. I had to restructure my approach and be intentional about what I wanted. So I made a schedule. In the morning, I did classes and reading. In the evening, I had boot camps and assignments. I started prioritizing tasks and setting clear boundaries. I learned to optimize my time. Weekends, I use weekends to study and evenings for bootcamp projects. I learned to be more proactive and not leave things to chance. I found a place outside my house where I could read and charge my laptop at the same time. I had to anticipate problems and create a backup plan at all times. I had to fight procrastination too because it can be a thief of progress. So I made a lot of adjustments and eventually I found a rhythm that worked. In the end, I completed the bootcamp successfully among the best, and I still hit my academic target in school. So till date, this experience last year has actually shaped how I approach challenges, even now. So I also want to say if you're someone struggling with work and life, I can assure you that it is possible. You're going to have to do a lot more than other people. Yeah. But with the right mindset and the right mindset and with the right strategy, I think you can do it too. That thank you. That's all for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you are clapping. See value. Okay, the next person I'll be calling is Ijeoma Obialo. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Ijeoma,
here.
hi.
Hi.
Yeah. So my first question to you is, how can companies create more inclusive and supportive environments for women in tech?
That's a very interesting question, you know. Well, I think companies can provide equal opportunity for career advancement. Now, how will they do this? They can provide all individuals, regardless of gender, with the same chances rather, to thrive professionally. Now, what this means is that they ensure that women have access to the same opportunities for hiring, advancements, professional development as their male colleagues. So some of the ways they can go about this are, I would say, implementing what I call blind recruitment practices. Okay, and by this, they have to take out personal information from CVs to avoid bias. Also, use gender neutral language in job descriptions to avoid unintentionally discouraging women from applying. So there are some job descriptions you say, I beg, this is not for me. Let me know it's not for women. I can't, you know. So I think the keynote speaker mentioned her organization, you know, specifically mentioning that women are advised or encouraged to apply for jobs. So it's very commendable. This other one now I'm about to say is going to sound funny, but I think we should introduce the company should introduce family-friendly policies that support both women and men, like flexible working hours, remote work. I know lots of tech companies are embracing remote work now. Even paid paternal leave. This one, we might laugh about it, especially here in Nigeria. But yes, men do need paternal leave to support their nursing wives. You know, just like my husband is here in this call, trying to support women, and I appreciate him for that. So lastly, and this one is very important to conclude, companies should maintain transparent grievance mechanisms for reporting discrimination and harassment, especially in a country like ours, you know, because when women are scared of reporting discrimination and harassment without fear of retaliation, it's a big problem. So I think that's all for that question.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Thank you. I can't agree less. I'll be saying to your husband. Thank you for being here, sir. Okay, so the second question I'll be asking is, what skills, both technical or soft skills, do you think women in tech should focus on to accelerate career growth?
Okay, what skills? Okay, for women in tech. Okay, let me
Yeah.
start. I know there are some people here that are not in tech, so let me permit me to deviate and start from them. Now, I know you may be you've been thinking of how to go into tech, right? First of all, I want to encourage you to go for what you love to do, right? When you come in, you can try a couple of things to be able to decide what you want to stick with. For me, when I started out as a front-end developer, and then I fell in love with design. You know, now what this has done for me is giving me a deeper understanding of front-end development, right? And thus I align my designs with what is obtainable in development. Now, I don't design what cannot be developed, right? So my recommendation will be you find out what you love. If you love coding, you love you love coding, you could master vital languages like JavaScript, Python, SQL. When you master Python and SQL, you can also improve your data skills. If you want to go into data analytics or database management, you can try out cybersecurity. Just find out what you like doing and go for it. Now, for the women in tech, right? Consider diversifying your knowledge. The world is moving away from specialization, right? So that's what I would say. Then for the soft skills, communication is the most important for me, especially in a remote setting now. So imagine you're having problems and you can't communicate to your manager. That's a recipe for disaster, That's a recipe for disaster. Then the second would be leadership. I used to run away from leadership roles, until I was forcefully nominated a couple of times. That was when I realized that leadership really helps you improve greatly. Let's take, for example, when I was still in the KodeCamp bootcamp, I just woke up one morning and realized that I'd been nominated for assistant team lead. I wasn't happy. I was like, why would these people bring me out? You understand? I parried a lot, right? But then as I started to embrace this task, I realized that I am here today because I took up the challenge, I know how teamwork is. Most people will be lacking, most people will just leave it for team leader and assistant team lead, So it helped push me, it tested my limits, honestly. And I'm here today. So try to take up leadership roles. If you have extra strengths, you can also mentor others. This will help to build your authority and leadership experience. Then networking and negotiation skills, very, very important. That's all for now. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak.
All right, thank you so much. Before we continue, I would like to recognize the presence of the CEO of Codehouse, which is the parent company of KodeCamp, and the managing director. So first and foremost, let me recognize, I call him chief engineer, by the way. This man is, when it comes to giving policies that support women, I'm a nursing mother, and he has really helped in making sure that my role in the organization, my being a mother doesn't seem like a burden, even carrying out my role in the organization. Please help me make welcome. Sir, if you can just say hi to us. We don't want to bother you, but we have to bother you. Yes, sir. We are waiting
Okay.
for you to unmute.
Uh, good morning, everyone. Good
Good
morning
morning.
to all the women, especially the mothers. So all these women talk. I don't know. You guys should also be talking about mothers too, because it's not easy. There's a difference between being a woman and being a mother. And those who are mothers, I hope you people agree with me. So,
I agree. Oh, I agree.
so I know what Timole is passing through with that Elsa. I know. But there is joy in that as well. So, props and kudos to all the women who are also mothers. Being a mother is another level on top of it. Okay. So, I always used to say this thing. Most people like to celebrate birthdays, right? But you see, on your birthday, you you didn't achieve anything. So I don't even know why people celebrate birthday. Maybe they're thanking God for that. But on your birthday, the only human being that really achieves something on your birthday is your mother. It's not you. So remember your mother on your birthday. That's the person you should be celebrating. But that's just an aside, right? Because you on that your birthday, all you did was to give that woman stress. Okay. So always remember that when you are celebrating your birthday. Now, on the matter of women, so Imole, it's not just because you are a mother. I want to make this point, or all the mothers, or even all the women. It's because you perform, right? You perform, and all the women, all the ladies in this chat, you are here because you are performers, not just only because you are women. There are a whole lot of other women. Okay, why are they not here? Right. So that's the point I want to make, right? And I think several people have made that point. In fact, most men will kind of say the same thing, right? Even though, yeah, we need to pay attention to balancing things and so on. But for me personally, my own opinion, there is this very, good question that was asked. I think it's Victor that asked that question. The answer to that question is balance it from the job. That's when we want to do gender balancing or whatever, equality or whatever. Let us do it from the foundation. There's I don't want to call it misinformation, but there's a lot of agendas being thrown all over this place, right? On both sides of the divide. And I feel like the main purpose of that is just to make people continue to fight each other over these agendas rather than facing the foundational and fundamental issues. The fundamental issue should be that a woman should be allowed to do whatever she wants to do, whatever skill or passion that she has. I just heard what Rufina was saying about her mom not letting her do engineering. That doesn't even make sense to me. Now, you would say it is because of the way that our culture indoctrinates people about women and so on. That may be just a single example, right? But the truth of the matter is this: I don't see why a woman who wants to do whatever, let women have the opportunity. So if women can excel at it, let them go at it, right? Let them go at it. But um I don't think we should create artificial boundaries or try to create any let people just organically and naturally have the opportunity to go at what they have the passion for. And let us support them to excel. Simple. There shouldn't be any artificial boundaries. The only thing I would say we don't talk about is this whole transgenderism thing, because that one is not natural. That is an artificial thing, right? So it still goes in the same direction as what I'm saying, which is let people go for what they have a passion for. Let the society support. If a woman wants to do engineering, if a woman wants to do automation or aeronautics, it wants to, even if a woman wants to, go do construction or drive trucks or cranes, good, right? Or if they don't want to join the army and fight wars, well, we have good, right? But let us not create artificial restrictions. Let's see, but also let's not do this artificial attempt at balancing either, because just like I think Ike said it doesn't help, because you don't want to bring people who are unqualified to do something. It basically just you know it kills everything, right? So let women have the freedom to do what they want and let us support. For me, that's it. And let there not be any agendas or anything, because that's really what is going around the world today. So thank you, and I wish everyone the best. Build your skill. This is what KodeCamp is all about. KodeCamp is about building skill. We don't have any restriction. Any woman that comes to KodeCamp, you can learn any skill that you want. Nobody tells you women should only do UI, UX, and so on. But interestingly, I asked this question, okay, why do we have most women going to do UI, UX? People should come and do back end, come and do React, so that we know that women can do DevOps like Messi. Okay, how many women are doing DevOps? It's only Messi. Maybe Mole tried it a little bit. Come and do it. Let us see how it goes, right? We will support you. So KodeCamp is open to everyone. There's no restriction of gender. There's no attempt to balance any gender. Come and do what you like and show us that you can do it. That is what it's all about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So sorry. Sorry about my baby's voice. Yeah. So thank you so much. That's a whole lot. And you see the reason why I cannot stop calling him chief engineer, because he has all our interests at heart. And the next person I would like to recognize also is the presence of the managing director of Codehouse, which is also the parent company of KodeCamp. This man, when it comes to, you used to hear women supporting women. These are men supporting women. Men supporting women. Yes, I've tasted and I've seen. I'm not talking from what I have not experienced. It's what I have experienced and what I'm still enjoying. So I like to, if you can speak, sir, Engineer Lawrence.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I'm not going to, I think I heard my oga very well, loud and clear. I don't think anything I'm saying now is going to be like a repetition. So congratulations to all the women on the call. Just to rehash what you said, Kodas is gender blind. I liked what was it Ijoma that was speaking about, removing something that will have to point to your gender or something. Anyway, we already even if we see it, we pretend like we did not see it. So Codehouse has official that's the only thing I need to add because I go practical. We have official pipeline, right? We are trying to build the skill economy, and our pipeline is code named Otmij, OTMIJ, right? O stands for orientation, where we have things like dipoid, because a lot of people, when you go to any place, you just start, learning tech. No, we start from the basic, even tell you what is a computer and everything. So it's optional, right? But if we have to do end to end, we have to assume that there are people that might come in at a point where they have not even seen a system before. So because of that, we included that last year. Before last year, we never cared about it. We just go straight to see HTML, CSS, and stuff like that. But we have recognized that there are people like that. So I'm encouraging everybody, of course, Diaper started, we run it once every year. So because KodeCamp is coming up, we want to run Dipods before KodeCamp. So Dipod is more like an orientation. So the Dipod is 7-letter DAIPODS and everything. Let me just quickly run through it. This stands for Digital Literacy Fundamental. What is a computer? What is RAM? What is ROM? All those things you did in JS1. And this time around, we're not teaching you like as if you're teaching you as if someone like for some not for someone that's preparing for an exam to write to enter JS2 or something like that. We are now training you as someone that is going to enter a career. So A stands for application and operations, where we have to do with where we have to talk about system softwares, file system. People don't know about NTFS and FAT and all that So and all that. So we have a after A, die P. So the P stands for problem solving and critical thinking. So in that area, you know that when you're operating in the world of today, it has to do with, it's no longer cognitive alone. You have to be creative, not cramming. And so every app anybody is using today comes from a real world problem, right? And then whenever you talk about problem solving also, remember data structure and algorithm. So it's going to affect developers and everything. This is not a class for diaper. Just let me move on. So you have who has to do with everything online operation. Do you have an account? Do you even know how internet works? Do you know what is a browser and everything like that? Email and all that. Everything that has to do with you being a digital citizen. So we go into then after all these things, digital citizenship, how do you use it? How do you use everything online and equally protect yourself, avoiding bullying other people online? Everything, just because internet is another country and you are now a citizen. So you're a digital citizen. So we have to go through that. The last one is S, which has to do with soft skill. So soft skills training you, of course, you know about personal development. Everything has to do with like interpersonal skills and everything, because we felt, in fact, we even added that one. It was not in the diaper this thing, we added it because we feel like if we don't train people towards that direction, the person might not be, so that's this thing. So we have that's this diaper I talked about is under orientation. So again, I go back to the OTMIJ. So after the orientation, the T stands for training. Of course, KodeCamp. I don't need to talk about KodeCamp again. So KodeCamp falls under our training and everything. Then after the training, Codehouse feels that a lot of companies does training, but we have to move a step ahead into mentorship as well. So that's why I have me. So the M stands for mentorship, and then I stands for internship. So our internship is divided into two. It can be paid internship, it can be unpaid, but we'll bunch all of them into internship. And then OTMIJ, the J stands for what? Job. So at the end of the day, the job is divided into three. It can be working remotely, it can be working on site for a local or international company where you have to travel, and then the third part of it is building your own business. So when we talk about job, it's not like job per se, like what is the outcome, the empowerment, what is the outcome. So please, the summary of this is that we have this pipeline, and the entry of that pipeline is gender blind. That is simple. This thing I just need to add. So thank you very much. Find time, talk to your friends, your family members, encourage them. You understand? KodeCamp is coming. Dipod is already started, but the major class will start on Wednesday. So if there are people around your cycle, because me, I go practical, I don't, this is real now. This is not motivational speak, this thing. Wednesday, the classes. So Imole can give all the details and everything that he needs to join that. The reason is that we want to see if he can finish that point before CodeCamp starts. So it will be a natural flow, a natural logical flow in the Codehouse pipeline. So my own is practical. So how do we, after this call, what do we do? Let's ask ourselves and everything. So thank you very much. Sorry, I've even taken more time than whenever I speak about coders and all this, I'm passionate, so forgive me. Thank you, Imole, for this opportunity. Once again, congratulations to all the ladies in the house.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I told you, these are men supporting women. Yes. So we'll continue with our panelists. Thank you once again, Engineer Nebet. Thank you, Engineer Lawrence. It was such an insightful session. It's so good to always have you both. Yes. So the next person I'll be calling now, engineer have said it, oh, go and learn DevOps, go and learn front end. Oh, they are here to support us. I'll be calling one of the developers. When you hear Agba developer, are talking about these women. Yes. So the next person I'll be calling will be Miriam Ali. Hi, Miriam.
Hello.
Yes. So the first question I'll be asking Miriam is, have you ever experienced gender bias in the workplace? How did you handle it?
Thank you for the question. Yes, I had, it was during my undergraduate years. I studied electrical and electronics engineering. and I had to do my industrial training then. So I did my industrial training at renewable energy. And from the onset when I started the internship in the IT, I was asked to stay back in the office while my male colleagues go on site for the field works. So I had to ask questions about it, that why is it that I'm always staying back? And the response was, it's better you stay back and do marketing and messages. So I was not comfortable with the answer. So I had to make myself available and I asked questions. And I also asked questions. So making myself available, and that made them saw that I had the capability to do stuff as well. So from that moment, they allowed me to go for field work as well as other male colleagues as well. So after that, the lesson I learned from that was I learned that it is not, even bias is not about ability alone. It's about perception sometimes. And the only way to change perception is through action. And most importantly, opportunities are not given freely, especially for women in a male-dominated environment. And the only way we can make ourselves available is to push ourselves to the place and prove that we belong. And also, we should also speak up and show up. And we shouldn't allow anybody to limit us on whatever we want to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miriam. Don't allow anybody limit you. You don't give anybody that power. Thank you so much. So, Miriam, having spent like 4 to 5 years in front end, how can women take ownership of their career progression and ensure they don't get stuck in entry level or mid level roles?
Thank you for that question as well. Yes, we can take ownership of our career by being proactive. What I mean by proactive is when we take initiative to volunteer for challenging projects. We ask for leadership roles, and we also contribute beyond our current or our current responsibility. And also, we should be strategic as well. We stay ahead by learning high-value technologies, any certifications, and keep up with industrial trends, and also we network. And the third one is we have to be assertive. We seek for mentorship and sponsorship from leaders who can help us advance in our career, which KodeCamp has been doing for the past 5 years now, because I started with KodeCamp from the day when they started. I did the first KodeCamp, and it has been a good one for me because I've improved very much, and I want to appreciate Engineer Nebet and Mr. Ikechukwu as well, and Mr. Lawrence, Engineer Lawrence as well, so, because they have done much. And I also appreciate Mrs. Imole Ayo as well, because she too has been, let me say, she has been a mentor to me as well, because the way she used to manage stuff and the way she used to lead and the way she used to speak as well as has helped me a lot. And I think I'm trying to build my confidence through that too as well. So I know we should not just limit ourselves. We should just pick up, talk, and network. That will really help us in our career. Thank you.
Thank you so, so much, Miriam. Don't limit yourself. I'll say that again. Right now, I'd like to recognize Ikechukwu Acho. I would have loved to borrow engineer, but I dare not. Ike is the program manager for KodeCamp, and he has been instrumental in making sure that even we, the women, thrive. If you can just give us just something like Mr. Ekis, over to you.
Okay, greetings once again. Yeah, my name is. Okay, so happy International Women's Day once again. I want to congratulate all the ladies. So maybe I'll use the word ladies if it will cover both mothers and all that, right? Yeah, so I think the only thing I'm just going to add to what Jebet and Lawrence has said is, see, I want to be real, whether we like it or not. There is this bias, right? We can't ignore it. We can't pretend that it is not there. As much as we would want to do some movements and all that, there are still persons who, based on their orientation, a woman should not do this, a woman should not do that. So when they are in power, they try as much as possible to resist. That is just a fact. We can't wish it away, right? But the role that I want to appeal or sensitize or counsel the women is this. If there's something my father has taught me, is that wherever you go, be valuable. You can be so valuable that all of a sudden you become irresistible, and that should be your goal. Like I said, just like I said earlier, such that it's no longer a discussion of whether it is a gender. It is now a discussion of what value, right? So be so good at what you do. That's basically just what I'm going to say. Be so good at what your primary goal should be that you are the best in the room. If you can get that, trust me, all this most of you would actually win most battles when it comes to these marginalization that we actually see between the whole what men should do and what women should do, right? Secondly is support each other. See, I have I've actually seen when, if when women actually be a blocker to their fellow women, right? So also learn to support each other, right? Don't be a stumbling block. One of the ways you can support each other now, we're just how many on this call? Maybe barely 26 or so. But if you take out the guys and all that, you have other females in your life. Probably they are not even, you can see that, you can guess that they are not going anywhere at the moment, right? Bring them into tech, encourage them, help them to actually get their footing. And then of course, network. That's my last point to the women, right? Network. Now, but in networking, don't network based on the fact. When I say network, I don't mean network with your fellow women alone. No. Network generally, but maintain your principles and values with respect. I want to believe we know what I mean by that. Of course, you know how the world can be. Let's not ignore it, or let's not pretend like it's not there, right? Network, reach out, be valuable. I'll still take it down to that place.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ikes. I'm not sure if it's my network. I can no longer hear him. Please confirm if you can hear me. I want to be sure of
I
what's
can hear you, ma.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. All right. So please, wherever you are, be valuable. Whatever you do, be valuable. So the next person I would like to call is also a developer. The Agba devs. Yes. So the next person I'll be calling is Precious Steve. This is also a wonderful woman, and she's breaking stereotypes when it comes to building endpoints, all these. She's good. Let me stop there before everybody will be jealous. All right. Hi, Precious. Let me hear your voice.
Hello, Mrs. Mole.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm very good. Thank you so much.
All right. So the question I have for you is that what advice would you give to a woman who is the only female in a team or company? Being a back-end developer, I know you relate more.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that question. If you're the only woman on your team, my biggest advice is this: trust yourself, even when it feels like nobody else does. Let me tell you why. Based on my experience, when I studied engineering, I was one of the 3 ladies in a class of about 80 to 90 guys. And every year, there was this particular algebraic and trigonometry question that everyone avoided. My math lecturer will always put this question each year, even before I even started that institution. So one day I asked myself a question: how come no one has actually attempted to solve this question? I even went to my colleagues that were in higher classes than me. No one could even look at the question. They were like, "This is not even possible." They're telling me there's no one that actually solved this question. So what did I do? I decided I'm going to try it out. It wasn't easy at that point, because at that moment I didn't even know about AI or ChatGPT or so. I was just determined to find the answer to that particular question. So when I actually found the answer in an Indian mathematician PhD lecture PDF, it's actually quite funny. So when I actually saw that answer to that question, the answer to that question was actually 3 pages long. I am not capping. 3 pages long. I studied that, and for the exams, I wrote the answers. So after the exams, I was called to a panel of lecturers. I was like, what happened? I was like confused. When I went there, they asked me, Precious, are you the one that wrote the answers to this question? I said, yes. My math lecturer actually told me something that I felt I was shocked. He said, even if there was someone that could answer this question, we cannot believe it was actually a female that answered the question. So there and then, I was given another paper to rewrite that answer to that algebraic question. So why am I saying this is, this taught me something. When you believe in your skill, others start to believe in you too. I saw it firsthand. Next, as women, we should also focus on results, not just fitting in. So solving that question didn't just help me. It made everyone see that, okay, she know what she is doing. So as women, if you're the only one in your team, don't just say, okay, I'm the only woman, I can do what I want. You have to let your work speak. Let your work speak for you. Let what you do actually speak for you. And now, another advice I would give is find your allies. It could be someone who supports you. It could be someone who teaches and help you grow. It could be someone who tells you what you're doing wrong and help you to rewrite that wrong. And also, I would also advise, if you're the only woman, ask your company or team to hire one woman. It shouldn't have to be only you. So most importantly, I learned that you're not just in that team for yourself. You're not just in that team as the only woman. It's not just about you. It shows that it will actually show that every woman belongs in tech, every woman belongs in engineering, every woman belongs in robotic or machine learning. So my advice to women is that trust your skill, keep going, and remember, you're not just opening doors for yourself, you're also opening doors for other women coming into tech. So that's all for me for that question, Mrs. Mole.
Thank you so much, Precious. The next question I would like to ask is, what are some actionable steps for negotiating better salaries and promotions as a woman in tech?
Okay. First thing, I would say that negotiating salaries in tech isn't just about confidence. You have to turn "I hope they notice me" into "I know my worth." What do I mean? Number one, we all know that tech thrives on numbers, so we have to learn to use them. Before you go to any salary negotiation or discussion on promotion, research exactly what your role pays. We have sites like Glassdoor that does that. Next, and this is the most important one, is track your win. Like Aki said, you have to be valuable. Now, when I mean track your win, did you debug a project that actually saved 10 hours? Or did you grow user engagement by 30% for those in marketing? Whatever your field is, what did you actually do that was actually insightful, that was actually valuable? Use that. I would call that, use that as your secret salary raising shield. You have to put what you did out there, your wins out there. Another thing is that if they say, because sometimes we negotiate salaries or gigs and they say budget is too tight, instead of you thinking on that, think on what can I do to unlock that budget. You have to turn roadblocks. If that budget is a roadblock, you have to turn that roadblock into stepping stone. One thing I learned in tech is that tech loves solutions. Tech loves solutions. So we should always be problem solvers, be solutions to problems. Also, is that if you're underleveled, ask mentors and managers, what skills do you need to reach that next level? Then plan, what skill do I need to learn that will get me this salary? What skill do I need to learn that will get me this promotion? Then either monthly or quarterly, weekly, show how you have leveled up. In tech, you're not just coding or designing system, you're actually coding and designing your career. So we should be bold and we should never apologize for knowing our value.
Be bold and never apologize for knowing your value. Thank you so much, Precious. So the next person I'll be calling is our DevOps engineer, Mercy Abeire. Hi, Mercy.
Hello, Mrs. Mole.
Yeah, good morning. How are you doing?
Fine.
Okay, so my first question to you is, what are some practical ways women in tech can advocate for themselves in male-dominated spaces? You're a DevOps engineer. I know you can relate with this.
Okay. So one of the ways you can do this, I came into CodeCamp, Code House internship also, and this word keeps resonating in my head that Engineer Lawrence uses. It's called certificate. What do you know in the field that you have decided to go in as a tech person? So that which you know is what will stand you out. It is what you use to leverage in whatever you need to do. Because at the end of the day, it's a job that needs to be done, and success as to how that job has been done tells that the job has actually been done. So while you might be having opposition from male and asking, what they are really asking to know is, do you know why you're here? Do you know what needs to be done? So you need to step up. You need to be confident in your ability, and you need to show them what you know. Whatever argument you are bringing, if you need to show, okay, this is the result as to what this particular problem needs, and apply it. So apart from that, you also need to be able to network. It is very, very key. It is very, very key. Because there are people that have gone ahead of you in the field that you are. They know what entails. They know what they're expecting from you. Like there's this instance of when I came into Coda's internship, I gave a code, and when engineer Aniebet looked at it, he said, "Mercy, I don't have to run that code. I can tell you from looking at it that's not going to work." So I had to go back to look for what was going to work. And at the end of the day, when I left the internship, you could tell, well, from my own experience, you could tell that I had moved from not knowing what to do to knowing what to do, So what you know will always stand out. It cannot be hidden, You should be able to know, bring your argument, bring in your results at all times.
Bring in your result at all times. Thank you so much, Mercy. So the next question is, how can women transition into leadership roles in tech? And what mindset shifts are required?
Okay. For you to be able to transition into leadership roles, you need to engage in activities that develop your skills so that you can offer those skills, as advice, as development to others, and as advice. And also, you need to be able to stand out. How do you stand out? You volunteer for roles that are open. For example, let's say your team is building a product and they're asking, who is going to do the presentation? You step up, you stand up for it, and you go for it. In doing that, you get to not only know your track where you are good at, you also know what other tracks involved in that product, what they get to do. And trust me, you'll be better for it, because you can talk about the product, not just your track level, but the product in its entirety. And that will always stand you out, because you're bringing yourself as somebody that, is always ready to work, is always ready to face any problem at any time. Then for the mindset that you need to shift, like I said before, you need to step up. You need to be confident and be assertive in your confidence, because you cannot be at the back and be shouting and you expect people to hear you. No, you need to step up. You need to also show what value you are adding to the team, to the organization, wherever you are. Like Mr. Ike said, this makes you irresistible. When they are looking for someone or something to be done, or someone to handle any problem, guess who comes to mind? It's you that has stepped up. Guess who comes to mind? It's you that have, brought out results time without number. So that you need to do. You need to shift your mind from someone that is laid back, that is timid, someone that, you're like, oh, let me leave it for others to undertake the task. No. Because the more you learn, the more you bring yourself out, the more you are valuable. And as a matter of fact, the more you become irresistible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The more you learn, the more you become irresistible. So the next person I would like to call is a robotic and machine learning engineer in person of Nena Kaze. Hi, Kaze. Please confirm you can hear me. Okay. So while we wait for cars, okay. All right. So while we wait for cars, I would like to call Hilda. Hilda Joseph, our product manager for excellence. Hi, Hilda.
Hello. I can hear you.
Hi. Okay. Hi, Hilda. How you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. So, as a product manager, how can women in tech support each other to create a stronger network and community? Hilda, if you are speaking, I can't hear you. Please, did you get my question? Hilda, please, can you hear me? Or can anyone else hear Hilda? Okay, I guess that will be network-ish.
Yeah. Hi, sorry. I got
Okay,
yeah.
I think we can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry, can you take your question again?
All right, so I said, how can women in tech support each other to create a stronger network and community?
In theory to actually doing it in real time, right? It's one thing to say women should lift each other up, but it's another thing to actually put in the work. Now, for me, one way of showing support is through mentorship. Mentorship from the right source basically changes everything. When I started out, I had 1,000 questions and no clear answers. And I'm very sure it's like that for a lot of other people. It wasn't until I found someone who had been through the same process and had enough experience to guide me that I started to feel like I kind of belonged. Now, I need us to understand that mentorship isn't just about getting advice or giving advice. It's also about getting access to different things, right? We need more women actively recommending each other for jobs, promotions, and leadership roles, and many other good things, right? And now then we have the power of community as well. I am a part of some women in tech spaces where job posting, salary negotiation, and every other good things are being shared and discussed freely. That's the energy we need, right? One where we are all putting each other on and sharing and showing good things instead of just hoarding informations from each other. Now, if you're in a space that is helping you grow, invite another woman in, right? If you don't have that space yet and you have the resources to create that space, please do so and bring in, if you can bring in 10, 5 women in to help them, that is going to, change the narrative. And let's talk about risk taking, right? This might not be 100% accurate or correct, so pardon me if it's not. Women often hesitate to apply for roles unless they meet every single criteria and requirement. while men apply with 60% of those requirements and qualifications. And 70% of the times they get it, right? Now we need to encourage each other to, by each other I mean women, to take more risk, like to ask for that raise that you need, apply for that leadership position, to negotiate better deals for ourselves. If a woman in your circle is doubting herself, be there to hype her up and remind her that she's capable. Now, lastly, advocacy. It's not enough to just not be the problem in quotes, right? We have to be active in making workplaces more inclusive. If we see any bias, we need to call it out. If we notice a lack of female representation, we need to push for a change, right? And if we get a seat at the table, we need to make sure that we are not the last ones to sit there. We need to create space for other women. And at the end of the day, we should understand that it's all about building a strong community over competition with each other. I mean, there's enough room for all of us to win. And as we all know, we are stronger when we move together. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Hilda. We are stronger when we move together. So, your final question will be, what resources, be it books, courses, or communities, have helped you grow in your career?
Okay, I've definitely done my fair share of resource hopping in this life. When you're starting out in any field, right? I'm going to use product management. It feels like you need to know everything all at once, right? You need to know the strategy, you need to know the execution, the stakeholder management, user experience, and so on. And it can be very overwhelming. But the right resources has helped me a lot. So I'm just going to share a few books, a few courses, and communities that has really helped me over the years. So for books, the number one and my all-time favorite is this book by Marty Kagan, titled Inspired. This book is for PMs, right? So I'm sorry, guys, if it doesn't go around. It's for PM. It teaches you how great product teams work. It teaches you how to build products, customer love, and how to navigate the chaos of product development. And another one which I love so much is this book by Melissa Perry, Escaping the Build Trap. This one helped me to shift from, just being generic and knowing the kind of features. I think I like to say that I pride myself in generating very good user stories. And this book is one thing that has really helped me. It helps you know the building features, right? The features that is engaging, the features that is needed for a product, right? So I'll move over to courses, right? Now, courses that give me practical skills. Number one, I would say is the Google's product management certification on Coursera. Now, this course is good for beginners who are just starting out, it's good for intermediate and also advanced learners as well. And then we have the Become a Product Manager by Mercer on Udemy. And this one covers a lot of things. It covers everything from roadmaps to stakeholder management, and it's super helpful. It has really helped me a lot. And then we have the Mind Product membership and webinars, right? So I'm going to go over to communities, right? I'm a part of a lot of communities, but a few ones that I am going to recommend is we have the product school Slack community, right? The product school, they do a lot of job postings, PM discussions, and basically careers advice. And we also have the African Women in Product, the AWIP. It's called the AWIP. It's a strong support system for African women that are trying to get into product management and product development. They also have a lot of resources. They have courses as well. They have free mentorship sessions and a lot. And then there's the Women in Product, the WIP. It's great for networking with other women in the industry and sharing growth opportunities. So here, these are the resources that has helped me over time. And now it's not
Okay, so I think we lost her there because if you can hear me, please can you give me a thumbs up? Yes, she has shared a lot. Okay. She has shared a lot for us. Thank you so much, Hilda. All right. Um, you can just wrap it up, Hilda, so we can get all the nuggets.
Oh wow, sorry, I have been talking. I didn't know that I was locked out. Please, where did you lose me? Oh my god.
Women in products, and you were just wrapping it up. Yeah.
Okay, women in product, another great community. Okay, this one is great for networking with other women in the industry and basically just sharing growth opportunities. That's where you get to see people who know nothing about tech, but then they come in and you see their growth progress. They teach people how to do a lot of things that are product related, user stories, PRDs. Like you go there and you learn how to, basically do a lot of things. And then I think the last one, the yeah, that was the last one. Yes. So these are the products that has helped me, the resources rather that has helped me over the years. And I believe we've taken notes. It will also help us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hilda. Kasi, I want to believe you're back. Please, can you just say hi? So I'm sure. Thank you so much, Hilda. Don't you just want to be a product manager? Hmm? Okay. Kaze, if you can hear me, please say hi. All right. So we'll have to wow, your network is serious. Okay. Let's just see if you can answer these questions. If not, if the network is still crappy, I'll just have to. Okay, so the first question for you, Kaze, is how important is mentorship and sponsorship in overcoming barriers? Have you had a mentor or sponsor who played a key role in your career?
I'm sorry, can you come again?
How important is mentorship and sponsorship in overcoming barriers?
Okay, so sponsorship is pretty important. I think a common misconception is that if you're in tech, you can just do remote and it's not expensive. But then let's just say you're doing remote, but you're going to need a good that's my components. So those things you simply just can't afford them on a whim. And then sponsorship would be of so much help because you get better products and you're able to exhibit better products as well. Yeah, then mentorship. I think a lot of people have gone on about mentorship, so the benefits cannot even be measured. But one other thing to add would be that your progress is faster.
Okay.
If if I were to learn something on my own, let's say I were to learn something on my own, it might take a week. Sorry? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Continue. Just yeah.
Okay. So if I were to learn something on my own, it might take me 2 weeks.
Okay, I think we can no longer hear her. All right, so no problem. We'll have to wrap that up there. If you know you've gotten value, like you've gotten serious value, I would like you to, use the chat. So this is the question and answer session. If you have questions, let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have it. Okay. All right. So if there are no questions, I'll have to move on to the next point on the agenda. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Okay, so the next point on the agenda is a call to action and opportunities in KodeCamp 5.0 Bootcamp. Yes, we've really heard a lot from Engineer Lawrence. So once again, I'm your host. And this host today, I did it together with my daughter. Permit us. So once again, I'm your host, Moliayo Bisiolu. Yes, and the team, which is Accelerate Action. If you do not take anything home, which I am not sure you did not, I know you took a lot of nuggets. You're taking a lot of nuggets home. Okay. Rufina, you have a question. All right, please, Rufina, go ahead.
Sorry, it's not necessarily a question, but I wanted to ask the last person that's presented as Hilda Joseph if she could share her resources on the comment section.
Oh, okay. All right. So Hilda, please. A lot of people want to become product manager. You have done a good evangelism. Product evangelism. So use the chat, please. All right. So while she's doing that, I'll just quickly go through opportunities in KodeCamp 5.0 Bootcamp. So one of the opportunities is that, let me first ask, how many of us know about KodeCamp? If you know about KodeCamp, can you raise your hand? Okay. Thank you, Taufika. Thank you. Thank you, Miriam. Mercy. All right, all right, all right. Let me assume that you can put down your hand. Okay, I'll assume that many people know about KodeCamp. For those that do not know about KodeCamp, KodeCamp is a free and full virtual training program. Now, free. I hope you know the meaning of free. It means you're not paying money for it. So it is free. And it is virtual. It is online. You can join anywhere in the world. We have people joining us from UK to US to Pakistan to Kenya to Ghana to Nigeria, all over the world. So it's not just a Nigerian boot camp, it's a global boot camp. And it is very flexible. It is more of like is a live training where we upload all our training on YouTube. So if you are a working class and it's like, oh, you have children and the time for your own, the track you pick, the time is not really suitable, you can learn via watching recorded videos. We have mentors. There's mentorship and networking, and All right, sorry about that. So there is mentorship and networking. We have top professionals that would mentor you. We have people that are already trained to make sure that you get the best. And there is internship and job support. So after your boot camp, you have the opportunity to apply for internship. So you can apply and, once you're interviewed and you meet every criteria, you would be given a chance to intern. We have top companies that, partner with us, and this, everything I'm saying now, are all coming for free. All you have to pay for is join classes, learn, give time to serious learning. If you were here when Engineer Nebet was speaking, he spoke about you, that, see, no company will pick you if you are not adding value. So you can't use the I am a woman logo and say, Shebi, I am a woman, pick me. No, we will teach you to get value, like what you need to learn. And what we teach you is world standard. You can stand anywhere in the world and say, I am a KodeCamp product. We've been doing this for, these are 50 years of doing this, and KodeCamp started 2021. I'm a product of KodeCamp 1.0, and you can see right now, in my own way, I am making waves. So I'm not a mediocre. And every woman that you have listened to today are a product of KodeCamp one way or the other. And you can say that they are doing well in their field. Boma that you listened to, she was a trainer in KodeCamp 1.0. And I know you had her speak. So you know that KodeCamp produces not just top-notch men, but also top-notch women. Yes. So this bootcamp 5.0, CodeCamp 5.0, is starting in April 2025. Like I said, it is free. If you want to be part of us, go to our website, code.camp. Just type KODE full stop CAMP, code.camp on your browser, and join us. Just click on the join us button, fill the waitlist form, and the link that pops up, join the Discord server immediately. You are in already. Once you join the Discord server, you are in. And just be on the lookout for every other announcement in the community channel. To join our CodeCamp community, that's just the way. Like, it's very simple. We make our process very, very seamless. Yes. So, all right. So right now, I would like to say thank you very much. We are closing the conference. It's been, if you know these 2 hours has been impactful for you, can you use the chat? Tell me one thing you've learned. One thing. For me, one thing I learned was that I should stand out irrespective of my gender. I should first remember that I am a human being. So don't plaster your gender on your face. I'm a woman. I cannot get that opportunity. No. You are first a human being that have the same rights as every human being everywhere. Give your best. You don't allow your gender stop you. As you've heard when Engineer Lawrence, Engineer Nebet, and Nike was speaking, in KodeCamp and Code House, we have married women with children that are working. Miriam that spoke is a mother. Mercy Aberire is a mother. So you have no excuse that it's because of this marriage and these children. I'm a mother myself, and I didn't allow that stop me. Thank God for good support system like my husband, like Engineer Nebet, Engineer Lawrence, Ikes, like even the women that I work with, either Joseph, Rufina, Ijeoma, Precious, Kazi, all of them, everyone that you've listened speak. We make sure we support each other. So you don't have any excuse. You literally just see yourself as, I do not have any excuse but to excel. All you have to do is make sure you excel. So if you know you've learned something, let me quickly check the chat. Okay. Don't limit yourself. Be valuable. It's not just about being a woman, it's about the value that you're giving. Yes, be a person of value. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. Hilda says she's a mother. Hilda is a mother. Oh, she's my mommy like this. Because she has been mothering me. Yes. So as we come to the close of this inspiring conference, I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you, our speakers, starting from Boma. Thank you so much for making out time. She's a very busy woman, and she really made out time for us. Thank you so much. So our panelists, from the first person to the last person that spoke, thank you so much. And to you, the attendees, thank you for making out time to join us, for making today a success, for your insights, engagement, commitment to accelerate action. Thank you so much. So, you know what I'll use to end today's meeting? I want you to go to the chat and tell me one thing you would do to accelerate action. You've heard, Favour introduced us to the team. She spoke about what the team truly means, accelerating action. And, it's not just about sitting down. So go to the chat. I want everyone to do this. Tell me the next thing you're going to do to make sure you're taking action. To accelerate means to keep in motion. That means your action is not just sitting down as an idea. It's not just in your brain, but you're doing something. So tell me, if it's to register on the waitlist form and join the KodeCamp Discourse Server, if it's to make sure that this year I must become a product manager. See, you that has poured a lot of resources down. That product managing career must start this year. That tech career, I must become a DevOps engineer. That cloud engineer, I must do it. You don't have to pay a couple. That's one thing KodeCamp is doing for you. People pay a lot. Some boots can pay as much as 5 million naira to get you trained. This is what I know. I stay in Lagos, Nigeria, so I know how much people pay to get a tech skill. But we are saying come and learn it for free. Yes, so use the chat, and with that, I would say, okay, you guys saying you have people register for KodeCamp. Yes. Apply for those jobs that are requesting for senior developer. Exactly. So thank you so much. Thank you also my co-host, Alfika Oyedeko, and every other woman that has made today a success. With this, I'll say, do have a wonderful weekend and happy International Women's Day. KodeCamp is saying, have a blissful time. Bye, everyone.